Hello and welcome to Universal Heritage Television Niger. My name is Afam Echi. We are bringing you another edition of our face-to-face program, a personality interview profiling. Our guest today is Professor Imo State. Professor Ugulebo is a sociology lecturer at the Imo State University. Prof, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you and welcome viewers.
And I must add that Professor Ugulebo is one of the most published lecturers we have around, and he has a lot of books to his credit. Prof, I congratulate you for the efforts.
Thank you.
And today we are going to take him on some contemporary issues plaguing our society. He's going to draw from his deep experience in the study of sociology to help us unravel some of our challenges. Please remember to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube platform. Prof, let me begin with you. In the study of sociology, it is defined as, let me take a very simple definition, that it's study of human behavior in a group context. And many people believe that as Nigerians, we have not been behaving well. You know, where do we draw this wrong conduct, this wrong behavior from as Nigerians? Where do we locate it?
Yeah. Well, as sociologists, I will say that this could be squarely located within the nature and character of the Nigerian society. Nigerian society is now where evil is promoted, where criminals are now conferred with chieftaincy titles, where criminals rule, where people with certificates are now people who claim they have certificates from where I don't know. People who are drug barons are now the name of affairs. People who have questionable character are now ruling. How do you think that a society brought upon this type of fauna cannot be corrupt? The society must be bad. When bad leadership transcends into bad followership, and that's why society is bad. And let me tell you, human society to be right, we have to start from the head. That's why Chinua Achebe said, and I want to quote that, the problem in Nigeria is what? Leadership. Nigerians are what they are, but leadership was supposed to be. When the leadership assumes the teachers of leadership, people stop. I remember the time of Buhari and Diabo. People were in barbecue culture because leadership showed light in that area. People couldn't. But when the leadership becomes something else, Nigeria lapsed into notoriety again.
Yeah, let me take you on that right away, because when you talk about, you mentioned the Diabo and Buhari. Buhari had the opportunity of doing it a second time. And would you say the same situation prevailed? What will you talk about the second time around?
What happened merely showed that Diabo was really Nigeria. It showed that Buhari was actually clueless. That the whole thing was the action of one man, Idiabo. And because of the absence of Idiabo, the Buhari we had couldn't act because he had no Idiabo in his cabinet. In fact, Idiabo in his cabinet, that Idiabo would have now helped to transform the Buhari into what he was. There was no Idiabo. Buhari couldn't become the Buhari we used to know.
Okay. Now we have social scientists like you, and there are many of you all over the place. Yet our society, the Nigerian society, is plagued. In fact, we're overwhelmed by a lot of myriads of social issues, challenges here and there. You know them. So why is it, with the abundance of social scientists like you, we are not still able to come out of the woods?
Like I said earlier, we are in a society, and most times our voices are not usually heard, or even when they are heard, it doesn't go into policy implementation. As intellectuals, we are generating ideas. These ideas are supposed to be brought by the society, especially the political class, who will not translate them into reality. Our duty here as intellectuals is to generate ideas, and how such ideas are used is outside our locus.
Okay.
Yes, we're there to rise in how to arrive at a perfect society. But it's the duty of some people to make sure we get a Dorado. But when those people are not doing what they're supposed to do, what do? We merely flay our hands in agony. And that's where we find ourselves. We keep talking. But those are talking to, I don't think they're listening. And why they're listening, they're not catapulting what we're saying into action. That's why we are where we are.
So that boils down to the leadership challenge.
Yes, I'm saying that, yes. That's why it's clearly on leadership.
Okay. So how do we navigate out of this? Because over time, if you take the history of Nigeria, after independence, it has remained the same. No government is better than the one it has succeeded. If you take a study, things have moved from bad to worse, or as they say. So how do you think we can get out of this?
In fact, Nigeria is overdue for a revolution.
It's overdue
for a revolution. Yes, Nigeria needs a revolutionary government. I don't mean people who come there to placate reality, no. Yeah. People who are coming to change the system entirely. Okay. We need systemic change. This system is not what's supposed to be. Yeah. So we need a revolutionary change. Until when that is done, we're not going anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Drawing from the present experience, the democratic experience, which we are, been through over the years, do you foresee a situation, this revolution you are talking about, emerging?
Yeah, it can emerge. I remember the youths have tried and they were mowed down.
You said Greece?
The youths.
Okay, the youths.
Have tried. They were mowed down. And they each have raised their heads.
You are referring to the...
No, I mean the Occupy Nigeria.
Okay.
That was some time ago.
Yes. 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think. Okay. When they used to raise up a head, the military, we're supposed to be on the side of righteousness. We're supposed to be on the side of truth. We are not supposed to be neutral. The military and other security apparatus. And now, change and metaphor to the character of a state. And now side the state against the people. That's the worst thing you can have. But the military is supposed to stand for justice, equity, fair play, and even good conscience. But when the military is compromised, there's a problem. But time will still come. You remember what happened there about when the Bush, I think the Bolshevik and the Bolshevik revolutions
in Russia.
In Russia. Yeah. Remember, you crush. Time will come when people say no, you can't crush again. Nigeria is moving towards that area. Time will come when they will no longer kill, and time will come when the voice of reasoning will not prevail. Time will come when people say kill us and nobody will not kill again.
Just like what happened in Northern Spring, in North Africa.
Yes.
Sometime
the whole nation will not come up. Only that they're holding the nation hostage by using religion, ethnicity, and such pseudo concepts to confuse the masses. But sooner or later, the masses will now know that the problem is not religion. The problem is not ethnicity. Their problem is the political class. The problem is the political class who are there not for the interest of the masses, but what America calls instead of democracy, we have what? Pocketocracy, where they are there pocketing our collective tail.
Okay, that's what you look at
as a pocketocracy. That's what we're talking about now. Yeah. It's corrupt. They go there not to better our lives, but do what? Line their pockets.
Okay.
And then when they line their pockets and they have much water in their mouth, they can't speak again.
When they have much water
in their mouth, yes, they can't speak again.
Okay. Okay, Prof, you see, the universities are regarded naturally, as centers of excellence. And there are institutions that are supposed to provide solutions to some of our challenges. But you discover that even the universities, as centers of excellence, which they are supposed to be, are also seriously challenged by myriads of issues. Do you still think the universities should actually take that definition? In Nigeria, in Nigerian situation?
Yes, universities still remain centers of excellence. If they are not, what is? No, we must admit that there have been interferences within the system.
Interferences from
the political class, from the society. Yes, there are interferences. Now, the appointment of a vice chancellor is done by the governor. And the governor influences, in Imo State, in the states, and the governor influences what happens in the university system. The appointment of the vice chancellor in the federal institutions is done by the president or the minister. And then they decree what happens in the universities. Unless universities become autonomous, and then granting university autonomy means they must be financially independent.
Yes.
And if they are financially independent and can do what they are supposed to do, the society will change. But the university system, as presently constituted, is like must continue to face myriad of problems because it is not on its feet. It cannot stand on its own unless they remove these interferences and they are able to be self-sufficing. They should be able to be self-independent. That's where the financial autonomy is what they require. And then if they require financial autonomy and they are independent of whatever they do, then you can ask Nigerian universities can strive and challenge universities in the world and make bold studies.
Okay. You believe we have the intellectual capacity to compete with the best in the world?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have in Nigeria. But we have the problem is we have systemic problems. It's from the system. Okay. That's the evil head that don't allow the tadpole to grow.
Okay, Prof. I will want you to talk about the research in the universities. To what extent have we been able to deliver on the expectations of the people?
Yeah, you see, research is a function of money, to be frank.
It's a function of
fund. Yes.
Okay.
Go to many of our universities. You can now see that chemicals that were used in the 60s, 70s, 80s are still what is being used now. So these things have been discarded in advanced countries, but they're still being recycled here. Somebody is doing computer science. You have not opened the computer before. Everything is theory because the system doesn't allow you to acquire those things. So you're learning that. Those things you're learning, you should be able to have them. Look at how they operate, and then look at how to improve on them. But in this place now, most of it is theory. Yes, I know that university is more of theory.
Yeah.
Because that is why because an engineer is a designer, more of a designer. And then if you talk about the director of implementation, you go to poly and what do you call them, technical schools. I know, but as an engineer, you should be at home with the functional and functionalities of those things. So that if you are directing, you direct from the point of competence, from the point of knowledge. But the issue now is that most of the things that are required in the universities are not there. So you can't perform magic. Even when you bring our colleagues who studies abroad, where do you have those things? And when they come here, they fled their hands because they can't do anything. Because you can't do anything without the required equipment, without the required tools, without the required machinery. What do? You can let your rise. That's the problem with Nigeria because Nigeria is a theory-based nation.
Okay, theory-based
nation, yes. You don't have the machinery, you don't have the tools, you don't have the equipment. And even our libraries are moribund.
Yeah, but funds are voted for these things on an annual basis. The budgetary allocations are made to education.
Yes.
So what happens when these monies are provided to schools? They fly away or what?
Maybe ill-equipped, that's another question. But some universities are trying to bring this. But you find that now, when they give you this money, and you look at what's the value of $1 to one naira, or $1 to naira, you can't get much. When that amount you're talking about translates into dollar, but you need to import some of these books. You can't get much books. You can't get many books. You can't. Because the money has lost, continue to lose this value. And then when they say they're giving you 1 billion naira, the 1 billion is how much when they translate into dollar. And when you're importing with dollar. You pay for freight, you pay for the book. At that time, how many books do you get? And look at the university, look at how many departments, how many faculties we have. And then, that's our problem.
Now, where do we locate this problem? Who should actually take responsibility for the substandard graduates we produce in our university?
I want to say again, it's systemic.
Okay.
The problem starts from the kindergarten, primary, secondary, and snowballs into the university system.
Okay.
For instance, now people coming to university are supposed to have mastered English and mathematics and other things. Mm-hmm. Those elementary parts cannot be taught in the university. Somebody coming to the university should know that IE is bad English. So when those things, what these people come in are not equipped with those elementary aspects, when they come to the university, they don't have it. So our problem is from our feeder system. Yes, because the university is fed from secondary school. Some schools are fed from the primary schools and those things. So the bottom line is poor unless something is done to motivate teachers and those involved there, so that they cannot put in their best and give us required candidates, qualified candidates, refined candidates. In fact, each country university now, most of the recruits given to us in form of human beings. We are finding it difficult to find them.
So most of the
crude given us in the form of human beings now.
Okay.
We are finding it difficult
to refine them to become a better product.
Yes, this is the problem. Most of them are handicapped right from the beginning, and you find that they don't. And again, now in those days, people went to school to learn, but now people are going to school to acquire certificate. I find that many of our students now, if you call them part-time maths, they say they are working at their schooling.
Yeah.
And it's a problem now. They're working at their schooling. In those days, people went to school to acquire knowledge. But now, people go to school, they're in school, they are working, say they are working, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing. So there are many things taking their time. The society has exposed them to many things, and these things are taking their time. At times, you don't know what if they system. Even in those days, find that university students dressed very, very well. But now, go to the university, you see people wearing rags coming to school in terms of no fashion. People wearing show tummy, show breast, show leg, show buttocks. I say that shows that we're in the state of Amakaneme.
Prof, you are a lecturer and you are a parent. Drawing from, you mix up, you see a lot. So where do you locate these things coming from? Is it from the background of the students, from the home, or from the school, or where do we draw this influences? That at what point did we depart from dress, like you said, back in the days, maybe during your days, university students dressed very, very well, and they were so appreciated now, but it's no longer that. So to what do we owe all of this?
It's a vicious circle. All the agents of socialization,
yes,
have not performed very well. The family is involved. Peer group is involved. The school is involved. The church is involved. If I should take on one by one, the family system now, what parents mirror to their children, at times it's not the right thing about. You meet some parents now who dress very poorly. The other day I saw a woman, I was saying, Madam, this is how you're dressing, how your children dress. And if they even carry their children, guess who are half naked. So I think the family is filling this fundamental role of bringing up the children appropriately. The family is failing. Many families are failing. Many families are failing. Some are good, but many families are failing in that responsibility. And when they move out now, the peer group, people now, the society is almost becoming level. You don't know who to trust. And the other people, they call their peers, you don't know their background. Yeah. And then these peers influence them fundamentally. And most youth prefer abiding by the dictates of the peers. They can even flout adult rules and obey peer group rules. So it's a problem now, because in the university system now, we have many peers. That is why people join cult groups. Yeah. That's why people join Yahoo groups. That people join other gangs. Yeah. Armed robbery, because of what? Peer group. The peers, people come from different backgrounds, and the university becomes a melting point. When they come there, those who have bad character can easily influence those who have good character. The church is not doing what it's supposed to do. The church has become a social club where what they're not interested in what, how much you contribute. Nobody's talking about the moral character again. In those days, church was talking about salvation, bringing lost souls back to God. But these days, the church is talking about prosperity, payment of tithe. And the church now, there's too much prophecy, false prophecies, and they will tell you will get a visa to America when you have no passport. And when you don't get one, they say you don't have faith. That is the problem now. The church is making promises it cannot fulfill. And the church is not showcasing what it's supposed to showcase. And then when in the university system, what do you want us to do?
The institution, you're talking about the institution.
Institutions now, what do you want us to do? We are not magicians. We try our best. But our society requires surgical operation Unless that is done, all we are saying will end up in knots.
Wow. It's okay. The society requires a surgical operation. Now, who will bear the cat? Who will provide this surgery? Who will do the surgery?
I keep saying, leadership matters a lot. Look at countries that have grown. Take China, for example. I think their leader is an engineer.
Okay.
I'm right. When you have someone who's qualified, he knows what he's doing. Look at other countries. Leaders are literate. They are properly educated. They have the intellectual handle to pilot their affairs. And such people who are mentally equipped can never allow the ship of governance to drift the point of to a point of no return. Yeah. They will never allow it to go to a shore where you cannot bet. No. But when you bring sailors and non-entities, people who have no mental equipment, people who didn't acquire real education, and you can't give what you don't have. It's only people who are educated. I want to say people who are educated that can pilot the political ship of the country to a safe shore.
Yeah, but if you are focusing on education, if you are focusing on
let me say, if education, you must have integrity. Let me say that.
Okay, we are qualifying it.
Yes, there must be integrity.
Okay.
There must be integrity.
Yeah, because most of these politicians went to school and they're educated. So maybe, yeah, I take you back to the same issue, Prof, that I'm still pointing towards the higher institutions.
Okay.
Now, because before you said people previously go to school to learn. Yes. But people now go to school to acquire certificates.
Yes.
It is the lecturers that certify these graduates and churn them out. Now, before you graduate them, you say people have been found worthy, both in character and learning, for you to award them your degrees. Now, this educated class, now let me use that word, these people that are educated have eventually become leaders. They are products of the universities. Do you think the universities are doing well, qualifying them to go out there in the street without integrity? Because you would have molded them.
Yeah, and let me say, most of the present crop of leadership in Nigeria, let me say, didn't actually pass through real universities.
So they didn't pass?
Through real universities.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Let's start from the president.
Okay.
I'm not sure of his background.
Okay.
And let me tell you,
yeah.
the president is the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And that means what happens in the ship, within that particular fauna. No matter how educated you are subservient to his directions, to his dictates. That is why no matter education, whatever he says prevails.
Whatever
he says prevails.
Okay.
So the leadership, I'm saying leadership.
People look at him.
You see, you can have gamut of ideas.
Yes.
You bring them there, and he says, no, what do you do?
Okay.
I'm asking you. Unless somebody is thinking along the same line with you, okay, you cannot progress. You may be a professor like myself. When you go there and bring out your professional knowledge, and they kill it, what do you do?
It's frustrating.
I'm saying, until we get this right, by getting right people for the right job, put the right man on the right job, let us get people who are intellectually agile, and economic, and those intellectually not intellectually fragile. They should be so intellectually agile with integrity. Let them go there. And again, in the university system, yes, I notice that going back because this sorting system is very bad in the system. I must say it. This sorting system in the university, indeed, I condemn it every now and then. Yeah. This sorting system is helping us to produce how-baked graduates. That's the problem now. How-baked graduates. But somebody will fail a course and they come and bribe you, change it. You know, that system, that sorting is in the university system. And in the school, I condemn it wherever I go.
Okay.
Wherever I go. And that's why I tell them, I always say it, I don't say certificates, I don't say grade. I don't put that grade.
Okay.
So you may say myself, yes, go to where I work, go ask them. I don't say grades. Yes, you can help students, but you can't buy my grade with money. Yes, you can't buy my score, you can't buy it with money.
Okay. Okay, let's come back to our dear state, Imo State. there has been an election was conducted at the weekend, and the governor, Senator Hope Uzodimma, re-emerged, to continue for a second tenure. Looking at his administration so far, what advice are you going to give him? What agenda are you going to set for him if you are to advise him?
Yeah, first of all, I must look at where it pinches the people.
Okay.
Now, during his last administration, much went on our roads. I will advise him to declare a state of emergency on Imo roads. We don't have good roads in Imo State. Intra-city roads. Go to rural areas, the roads are very, very bad. So let the government try and try to look more into the road system, road network. Even here in the Imo State capital, the roads are bad. So my advice is let him center on constructing good roads so people can move about. I think that's what I've said that, but let him try on roads. The roads are very, very bad.
Okay. Outside that, is there any other thing you want to talk about?
There are many things, but let me limit myself to roads.
Okay.
For now.
Okay. So thank you for coming to our program.
Thank you.
Yeah. Viewers, this is the much we can take from Professor Ogulebo, a professor of sociology at Imo State University. He has told us that there in the university, the eggheads, they turn out a lot of ideas, but if the ideas are not implemented, what do they do? And he mentioned that Nigeria is overdue for a revolution, though he qualified the revolution he meant, and said that the interferences by the political class is what is affecting the quality of what is going on in the universities. And he also mentioned that Nigeria is a theory-based nation. Now, there are so many other things he has mentioned, and finally, he set as an agenda for the new governor and the sitting governor, Senator Hope Uzodimma, to do intra-city roads and the rural roads, because the roads are terribly bad. I hope the authorities are listening and will take the appropriate action. On this note, we round off the program and say, please continue to stay with Universal Heritage Television. My name again is Afam Echi. Thank you for being part of the program.